Hey, how's it going, guys? It's GamerTrend HD here, and I'm going to be bringing you guys through the whole Forza Horizon car list. So basically, you just gotta go to the auto show, and here I'll go back 1 second, just so you guys see what it is. See, it is on the little map what it looks like. It's just a car. So enter. And as far as I know, there are 51 different manufacturers, and I'm not sure how many cars in total, just because they keep coming out with new DLC, so the number keeps going up. But I'm pretty sure there's at least 100 cars. There has to be at least 100. Probably also at least 150. So this video is probably going to be a little bit long. I am going to try and go through it as quick as possible. So first we have a Barth, the 1968, and the 2010. Here we have the Alfa Romeo 8C Spider and the 8C Competizione, Italian make. Ascari KZ1R, pretty fast. Aston Martin V12 Zagato and the 177. Audi Sport Quattro, TTRS Coupe, the RS4, and the R8 GT. Bentley Continental GT, BMW 2002 Turbo, the M3, Z4 S-Drive 28i, the 1 Series M Coupe, the 2008 BMW M3, and the 2012 M5, the newest M6, and the M3 GTS. Bugatti Veyron Supersport. I don't know why they don't have the regular one, but it doesn't really matter if they don't have the base one. Cadillac CTS V Coupe. Would have been pretty nice if they added in some Cadillac SUVs. Chevrolet Bel Air. Camaro SS Coupe. I have this car. I have it in a drift version, and I have a video on that too. The Impala SS 409. The Corvette Stingray 427. Corvette Grand Sport Convertible. The Camaro ZL1. And the famous Corvette ZR1. Citroen DS3 Racing. Pretty nice hatchback. We go to Dodge, the Charger RT 1969, Dukes of Hazzard style. The Charger SRT8. And the Challenger SRT8 392. Eagle Speedster 2012. It really doesn't look like a 2012 looking at it. It looks like maybe in the 60s, 50s. Some sort of like an old James Bond style car. The Ferrari 250 California. The 250 GTO, one of the most expensive cars. The 2009 Ferrari California. The 1984 GTO. The F355 Challenge. The 2011 FF. The 1987 F40. And the 1995 F50. The 458 Spider, one of my favorites. And the next one too, the 430 Scuderia. I'm not sure if it's Scuderia or Scuderia. I don't know, I call it that way. The 2002 Enzo Ferrari. The 599 XX. And the FXX. In case you guys are wondering, I'm pretty sure the car does cost 2.5 million in real life, but you need to schedule a time to actually drive it. You're not allowed to drive it on the street. It can only be driven on track. Here we have the 599 XX Evoluzione, if I said that right. The F40 Competizione, and the F50 GT. Here we have Ford, the F-150 SVT Raptor, the Mustang Boss 429, the Sierra Cosworth RS500, the Focus ST, the Focus RS500, the Mustang Boss 302, GT40 Mark II, and the 2005 GT. Shelby GT500, they've made it faster than ever. As you can see, 662 horsepower, and it is reported that this thing could reach a top speed of 200 miles an hour. They say it is the bargain car for the amount of horsepower you're getting. The RS200 Evolution, that's an off-road car. The Gumper Apollo S, and the Gumper Apollo Enraged. That thing looks crazy. Here we have Hennessy Venom GT. This car has the highest power to weight ratio than any other car on the market. It has 1200 horsepower, and look at the weight, 2,685 pounds. In real life, I'm pretty sure it has 3 horsepower settings, one for 800, one for 1000, and one for 1200 horsepower. This thing gets to 0 to 60 in like, I don't know, maybe like 2.5 seconds, not even, probably less than that. Here we have the Honda Civic Type R, the Integra Type R, the S2000, and the NSX RGT. By the way, guys, if you feel like pausing the video at any time, feel free to do so. The new Genesis Coupe, the Infiniti IPL G Coupe. I probably would have liked it if they added in some of the other Infinitis, maybe even an SUV. The Jaguar E-Type S1 and the XKRS, a really fun car. It's pretty much just made to drift. I mean, I'm not sure if they wanted it to drift. I mean, what kind of company makes their cars and doesn't know what they're doing with them? I like that they added this. It's a DLC. Yeah, you know, you gotta spend some money, but this thing is like the typical street Jeep that you see around. It is the Wrangler Rubicon. And we have the Grand Cherokee SRT8. It would have been, I think it would have been nice if they added in just the base Grand Cherokee, and then you were able to put on the SRT8 kit on it. That would have, I think that would have made things a little bit more sort of, I don't know if realistic, because you could just buy the SRT8 version, but it just would have made things like more hands-on and fun. Here we have the CCX R Edition. It's Koenigsegg. The Lamborghini Miura P400. The Countach LP5000 QV. I'm not sure what QV actually means. The Diablo SV. The Gallardo LP570 Spider Performante. Sorry about that. I've never seen this before. This is new. The Miura Concept. The Reventon Roadster. The Gallardo LP570-4 Superleggera. The Murcielago LP670-4 SV. The Aventador LP700-4. And the Aventador J. I've never seen this in real life. The only place I've seen this was in a car show video on YouTube. That's it. Besides that, I'm pretty much sure I've seen most of these other Lambos. Not every single one, but I've seen a good chunk of them. Here we have a Lancia, the Stratos HF Stradale, the Delta Integrale Evo, and the Delta S4. Just in case you guys are wondering, this car was first built in a garage. That's how this guy started his company. I don't know where it went from there though. They had those other 2 cars, but not really sure. Here we have the Range Rover Supercharged. I like that they added this in. I'm sure everyone sees this Jeep around. It gives it a little bit more of the game of a more realistic feel to it when you have type of cars that you see around more often. Here we have the Lexus ISF and the LFA. Lotus Exige Cup 240, the Evora S, and the Lotus 211. Also a really lightweight car, 1,600 pounds and 252 horsepower. Don't just say just because it has 252 horsepower that it's really slow. I mean, just look at the handling, just because, you know, the type of car that it looks like. Looks like a track car. But that acceleration and launch is just off the top. Putting upgrades into this car, it'll be a beast. Here we have the Maserati Gran Turismo S and the MC12 Versione Corse, I guess that's how you say it. Here we have Mazda, the MX-5 Miata, the RX-8 Mazda Speed, and the RX-7, famous and known for its drifting skills. Well, not drifting skills, well, just being used for its drifting. I mean, being used to drift. Here we have the so-called fax machine deemed by Top Gear. It is the McLaren MP4-12C. And here we have the F1 GT. Once used to be a record holder, I believe it was a record holder of the top speed. Here we have the 2009 Mercedes-Benz ML63 AMG, the rocket ship S65 AMG, well, not really rocket ship, the train, I'll call it the train, the SL65 AMG Black Series, and the crazy C63 AMG Black Series. I believe this thing got in second place for Motor Trend Car of the Year. So good job to you, AMG Black Series. The Mini Cooper S, a clown car, and the 2011 Mini Cooper S. Over to Mitsubishi, we have the Lancer Evolution V. I always forget. I think this is 6 GSR. I gotta learn my Roman numerals. And the Lancer Evolution X is 10. I know X. GSR. Here we have the 1969 Fairlady Z 432. The Skyline 2000 GTR. I don't know if this is the start of the GTR. It has a high chance of being that though. Here we have the 240 SX SE, also known for being used as a drift car. And the Silvia Spec R falls in line with the 240 SX as being used for a drift car. Here we have the Skyline GTR V-Spec 2 and the famous GTR Black Edition, what people like to call the fanboy car for 13-year-olds who love to talk it up but don't own it. Here we have the Noble M600. This car is definitely unique. I have not seen this before. Here we have the Pagani Zonda R. This thing is just crazy fast. This is the ultimate track car, if you have the money for it. Here we have the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16. I had someone overseas make fun of me just because I said it wrong. I don't know if it's Peugeot or Peugeot, but that's the way I say it, Peugeot. The Pontiac Firebird Trans Am and the GTO Judge, known as the drag racer for teenagers of its time. Here we have the Radical SR8 RX. This thing also known for being a really good track car, faster than the Lotus 211. It is even, wow, 1,433 pounds and 460 horsepower. This thing is super fast, super fast. Here we have RUF. RUF is an aftermarket company for Porsche, and I guess they got the rights to put their cars up on here and call them the RUF. So here we have the CTR Yellowbird. This thing is also one crazy car. I think it's known for being one of the most unsafe cars to drive at high speeds. There's a video on YouTube of this car going through the... How can I forget what the track is? The Nürburgring. Yes, it went through the Nürburgring, and this guy was literally fighting with the steering wheel going through the track. You guys should look up that video if you want to see some crazy driving skills. Here we have the RUF RGT8. Moving over to Saleen. I think it's just Saleen, but I just say Saleen for the fun of it. Here we have the S7, and they could have added in the Saleen truck that they had last time for Forza 4 and 3. It was pretty nice. Here we have the Scion FRS. There is also a Subaru BRZ, but I don't believe it's in the game. They're not going to add two of them because they're basically identical. And for Subaru fans, a lot of people say that it's going to become the new WRX or something like that, but I don't know if that's really gonna happen. Maybe in a few years, once the price drops down a little bit more. Here we have the Shelby Cobra 427 SC. I'm not sure what SC means. Maybe it just means Shelby Cobra. And another DLC car. This thing is called the 1000 just because it is ever so close to 1000 horsepower. Maybe it makes 1000 at the crank, but 950 at the wheels. So we're gonna move over to SSC. It is Shelby Supercars, just in case you guys are wondering. And we have the Ultimate Aero. This car, I think it was the record holder for top speed until the Super Sport took over, and then they said the Venom GT, which I showed you guys before, with 1200 horsepower. They said it's supposed to go like 270. I never seen actual proof of it yet though. Hopefully I'll see that soon. Here we have Subaru, the Impreza 22B STI, and the WRX STI. The Toyota Sprinter Trueno GT Apex, and the Supra RZ, known for being modded up to who knows what. Anything's possible with that car. The TVR Sagaris. Excuse me while I fix my microphone right here. Alright. The Ultima GTR, also a really quick track car, only 2,000 pounds with 565 horsepower. The Viper GTS, all new, looking really nice. And obviously, if you guys know the old Viper, that I believe is known for being the most unsafe car. No traction control, no airbags. I don't even know if the seatbelt worked in that car. You could come out of the car and get burned by the muffler on that thing. But yeah, they really worked hard on putting a lot of technology into this car and making it much safer. Here we have the SRT 10 ACRX, another track car. Not much track cars in the game. Here we have the Volkswagen Beetle, the Rabbit GTI, the Golf GTI 16V Mark II, and the Corrado VR6. That is a starting car. And the Scirocco R. I believe that's how you say it. Yes, Scirocco. Should be. I would have liked if they added in the newest generation GTI. Or the Golf. That would have been pretty nice. So guys, that pretty much concludes it for the car list for Forza Horizon. Hope you guys did enjoy this video and I did not go a little bit too quick. If so, you guys could go back and pause it at any time in case you were interested in a car. So hope you did enjoy the video. This is GamerTrend HD saying goodbye.